So let's say you're bored. On the bus, stuck in traffic, and at work procrastinating, you're staring idly at nothing. Nothing at all. Then all of a sudden it comes. The image, the story. It's about a man and his dog, and they wander around a jungle. No, the Arctic. No, a wasteland filled with zombies. And you think, this is great. I would totally watch a movie about this. You see yourself walking on the red carpet and leaving with a gleaming Oscar, and when a reporter asks, how did you think of something so great? You reply with,
climate change is real. It is happening right now. It is the most urgent threat facing our entire species.
Or, I don't know, it just came to me. But the bus reaches its stop, the traffic starts moving, and your boss catches you slacking off.
You're fired. Okay. Go. All right. Terrible.
And you tell yourself, when I get home, I'm going to write this down. William Goldman, writer of the novel and adaptation of The Princess Bride, states, screenplays are structure. But what exactly is structure? To put it shortly, it's the rhythm of your story, the flow of energy that runs through it, facilitating audience engagement. If you've ever watched what may have seemed like a good movie but still been bored by it, it's likely that its structure had a part to play in your enjoyment. The words 3-act structure may ring a bell to your high school English classes. The 3-act structure grew from a story principle by Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher who wrote the earliest surviving work of dramatic theory. In this, Aristotle put forth the idea that a whole is what has a beginning and a middle and end. Okay, I don't know if he talked like that, but alright, cool. A beginning, middle, and end. So what? To better explain, I'll run through a little exercise with you. Look at your life right now. What is your typical day-to-day life like? In a screenplay, this would be called the ordinary world, which establishes the status quo of the main character's world, as well as the main character themselves. Now imagine the routine of what you might be doing tomorrow, or the day after, or after. What would have to happen to make a difference in your life? Some events may be the loss of a job, the failing of an important exam, or meeting a new crush, to the death of a loved one, or something catastrophic like a natural disaster. For now, let's go with the arrival of a new crush, someone that, as soon as you laid eyes on them, gave your stomach butterflies. This is typically called the inciting incident. Keep in mind your protagonist doesn't need the awareness of where the inciting incident will lead them to. All they know is that it happened, and that it's made an effect on their ordinary world. There is a common belief regarding decision making that is evident in hundreds and hundreds of quotes, many going along the lines of, do nothing and nothing happens. It is the decisions you make, no matter how big or small, that can change your life forever. Life is what you make it. Somehow, you found yourself at a party. And guess what? That person you like just happens to be there. What do? You might agree that not every choice in life is easy, and that many decisions require a bit of thinking. Like, what are the consequences? This debate over a potential decision is frequently referred to as the refusal to call, or simply the debate. This leads to the call to action, which is the active decision your protagonist will eventually make. In most cases, the refusal to call is a halfway point to the call to action. Let's say you want to talk to your crush at the party, but they're surrounded by their friends, who you don't know, so you don't. This is an example of a refusal to call, the last chance for your protagonist to chicken out. But for now, let's say that they are alone, and you make a conscious decision to strike up a conversation with them. Congratulations, you've made your choice, your call to action. Good news, things are going well. You and your crush, you've hit it off. There's chemistry. Bad news, the party has gotten way out of control. Let's say this is a high school party with underage drinking, and the cops have arrived. People start running. The both of you run off together and escape getting caught. Now you're hiding behind a bush right next door. Just like in real life, a character's choice comes with a consequence they can't turn back on. What are the consequences that have arisen from your call to action? Well, if you hadn't talked to your crush, you wouldn't have run away with them from the police. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? Well, don't worry. It will, because they've forgotten a valuable possession at the party house, an inhaler. They'd injured themselves during the run, so now it's up to you to retrieve it. There's just one problem. The house is filled with cops, and if you get caught, you're in a lot of trouble from your parents. This part of the story is known as crossing the threshold, or the first act turning point. It is the climax of the first act, where the protagonist's call to action has drawn them to a point of no return. It is the consequence that arises from their call to action and kicks off the main bulk of the story that has been set up by the first act. Alright, now let's go all the way back to the idea of the man and his dog living in a zombie-filled wasteland. The man and his dog survive in a post-apocalyptic neighborhood, living off resources available in the vicinity. Living is difficult, as each outing risks death by zombie, but our hero deals with it. One day, a resource he needs is no longer available around him. Because of this, he goes to a neighboring town to look for it. At the neighboring town, he sees a woman being attacked by two bandits who want to steal the goods she'd scavenged. The main character is about to step in but stops when he notices that the bandits are carrying guns. However, this is before he sees that the woman has her daughter with her. Our hero makes his choice. The protagonist, with the help of his furry companion, confront the bad guys. He defeats them, but unfortunately his dog is shot in the process. The woman thanks him and says that her nearby settlement has a trained vet who can properly nurse the dog back to health. Our hero agrees to travel back with the woman and her daughter. Unfortunately, the previous confrontation has drawn the attention of zombies in the area. Barely escaping the undead horde, the group journeys off towards the woman's settlement. These are the structural points that typically encompass Act 1. Once the first act climax is reached and finished, your audience now knows your character, their normal way of life, how their life may change, and where the rest of the story will lead to. The first act is like an appetizer to a banquet. It gives the audience a taste of what your story is, while also promising more to come and satiate. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. My next two videos will focus on Act 2 and 3, so please subscribe if you'd like to see more. I would also like to address that I am in no means a writing professional, but I do have some experience and I just wanted to help others who were looking for a place to start. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll likely be uploading every 2 weeks. Till next time, see ya!